Just before we get started, who do you fancy for the Six Nations? What's your thoughts?
I think on paper, France are going to win,
Yeah,
but I also
some tough opening game, like.
oh my goodness, so tough, and Ireland are struggling a wee bit injury wise. I think England are going to. I think dark horse is the wrong word. England seem to just be getting
Yeah.
better and
They
better.
had a good autumn series, didn't they?
did.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. So England would be one to watch
Yeah. Okay.
because they have the way you either get 3 home games
Yes.
or 3 away games, just depending on year on year. So Ireland, unfortunately,
3 away, is it?
well, although they have 3 home games, the 2 away games they have are
Tough.
England and France. So I would be very surprised if they win either of those games. But never say never. Like Andy Farrell's an absolute wizard. Do you know? It's just they just seem to be going through a wee bit of a
Bit of a transition almost.
wee bit of transition, yeah. And then the injury blow, and then the debate on the out half. Like Pendergast is starting, but you could argue Crowley's probably more informed. But then Harry Byrne is coming out of nowhere. It's probably playing the best out of 3 of them.
Yeah.
So
He doesn't tend to go on pure form though, does he?
not really. It's in any Six Nations terms that I've been involved in, which isn't very many, the team that they pick at the start, they're like, it's like a real stubbornness. They're like, this is the team we picked, right? 3 of these lads have had stinkers in the first game, but this is the team we picked, so they're staying in, Now, unless you went 3 games on the bounce and had it.
Sounds like Ruben Amorim and his United system.
I'm going there this weekend.
Just stick it. Are you?
Yeah.
Who are they playing?
Spurs.
Oh, very good.
Haven't been to a United game over 10 years.
Brilliant.
Yeah, can't
Happy
wait.
days.
Can't wait.
Well, here, good time to go.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully. Okay, welcome back to the Founder and Family podcast. Today we are joined by, I don't even like to say it, former Ulster and Ireland rugby star, Craig Gilroy. How are you, sir?
Good, Declan. Thanks for having me.
Is it weird saying former?
No, I'm kind of used to
to
it
it?
by now. Yeah, I'm 2.5 years retired.
2.5 years?
Yeah, it's flown in.
Looking well for it. Would you believe as well, Craig and I actually went to school together. And before anybody is unsure, Craig is younger than me. Just in case. Just.
Yeah, and I just saw Rebecca there as well this morning, who was my year at Methody.
That's right. Methody, good grounding rugby-wise?
Methody was a great school. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I boarded for the first 2 years.
Yes.
Which I absolutely loved. Like, you hear some horror stories about boarding schools, but like a guy I shared a bunk with, he's still like my best friend to this day. And Matthew Nesbitt. Yeah. So no, I really liked Methody, and in terms of rugby, yeah, it was a big rugby school.
Yeah, and jumping ahead a wee bit, was rugby always a career kind of path for you, or did it just kind of develop at some stage that could be an option for you?
I think growing up, I was always like hyper energy, probably ADHD. You can get, I look online sometimes. You can see like you get a diagnosis and it's like pay 20 quid and find out if you have ADHD. And then you do it, and then it's like now sign up £99 a month to get the results. Because it's just ridiculous. So.
So you've never done it?
No. But I would like to maybe properly like sit down and see where I'm at there, because I would be sometimes I find myself like hyper focused.
Yes.
Other times I feel like there's a fly flying across the room and I'm just someone's talking and I don't have a clue what they just said.
Hopefully that doesn't happen. keep the flies out.
When I was younger, yeah, I was probably a nightmare for mum and dad, but I high energy, loved my sport, always very active. I was swimming, I tried tennis, golf, I played a bit of Gaelic, and football was probably my main sport.
Okay.
A little bit of rugby, but didn't really know a lot about it until I went to Methody, and that's where it sort of first year you're young, you don't really. Yeah. I didn't really know what was going on, whereas a lot of the guys had played for like Fullerton or Downey for 5 years. So, but I felt like I had the athleticism, and then I just gradually started to enjoy it more and more, and got a better understanding of it. And I suppose it wasn't until I was about, probably 17 or 18, where I thought maybe it was such a like a dream. I wouldn't even have put it out there, because it was all I wanted, but I never really thought I was that good when there was guys around me, getting Irish schools trials, Ulster schools trials. I didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking if I could pick one sport career, I would love to play professional rugby. I would go and watch Ulster play a little bit with my dad, and it would have been. It was a dream, but it was like beyond that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, that's nice. I was going to say Methody would certainly get the football out of you straight away. There was
straight away.
No option.
And the Gaelic.
and the Gaelic. Yeah. I went to Downey. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was the captain of the rugby team in Downey, P7. Right.
Mm-hmm.
First year Methody, games choice. All my closest friends at the time chose hockey.
Right.
So I panicked. Chose hockey.
Yeah.
And I would look back and be like, that's one of the strong but like biggest regrets in my life. I'm like, because you'll know in Methody, not doing rugby from first year, like I switched back to rugby, I think like medallion.
Yeah.
It's too late to have made any sort of progress. I remember Mr. Wells being like, what are you doing? Like, why are you?
Yeah.
Because he knew me from Downey, and I was like, what are you doing?
Senior.
So basically, I
junior.
could have played for Ulster. That's what we're saying.
Well, at least you get to play with your mates,
Well,
and that's
it.
what it's all about at school,
That's it.
It's very, very serious nowadays. So,
but I remember thinking at the time that we were at school, like the first 15, second 15, that whole setup, it seemed so serious from a school level, and I'm sure now that it's progressed even further.
Well, it's hard to believe that it's progressed even further, because looking back, I'm like, what more could you have done? The lunchtime training sessions,
That's right.
7 a.m. before school starts. It was like a professional setup. But you're right. I mean, by all accounts, it has progressed even more, and they're talking about different gym programs and nutritionists.
Yeah, I suppose that's the science kind of element behind it all.
And starting as well younger.
Yeah.
Maybe like guys that are 14, 15, maybe sort of getting into this sort of program.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was at school, it was really, that sort of senior school, 16, 17.
Yeah, very good. I actually wanted to kick off before we get back into the career. How do we game on to play with you? So I was looking up your stats.
Okay.
And correct me if I'm wrong, 213 caps for Ulster?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have to think about that?
Yeah, I do. I'm unsure. Yeah,
well,
thereabouts anyway.
That's what Wikipedia says. So we're going with it. So what I was thinking was, it's a bit like play your cards, right?
Okay.
I'm going to name you some Ulster players.
Okay.
You're going to tell me whether you think they're more caps or less caps than you.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we're going to kick off. He was in the hot seat a couple of weeks ago, and we're wishing him all the best with Ireland. Stuart McCluskey.
Right now?
Right now, as of, this is, live data.
No.
Correct. 212, apparently. So
I did see that actually at the weekend.
Yeah.
I thought, just hang up the boots now, Stu.
where do you sort of fall? In fact, you know what? We'll answer that
Okay.
After. Rory Best.
He's got more.
Correct. 218. Not many more, but yeah.
And just the 100-odd Ireland caps as well for Rory,
Sure. Tommy Bowe.
I've got more.
You do. 168 for Tommy. He obviously had a wee stint away at some stage. So, yeah. Good friend of yours, I believe, Andrew Trimble.
Yes, Trimby has more than me. He finished on 229.
Wow. Correct. Yeah, very good.
Great friend, but also fierce competitor.
Yes.
To this day, and on the paddle court as well.
I was about to say tennis court, paddle court, yeah. And finally, a blast in the past, David Humphreys.
Oh my goodness, that's a tough one. I know Humph Senior, David Humph, I should say. He won't like me saying senior. That'll be his dad. I know he played loads for Ireland. I'm just trying to think the amount of Ulster games in his era. Would they have been as many as today? I'm going to say I have more than Davy Humph.
You're correct. He's 163. Okay. I thought that when I was looking it up. He growing up, he was like the main Ulster player. I sort of remember like that sort of focal point of the team. But yes, I thought that when I was looking into the stats that there's probably just so much more available rugby games now to play. Different competitions. So
absolutely, there could be 30 odd a season.
Yeah, and so do you know where you fall in the? I didn't even look this up. I should have done, but like the all time sort of, you must be up there.
I think I'm in the top 10 for now.
Yeah.
There's Rob Herring, Andrew Trimble, Darren Cave, myself. I think I'm in the top 10.
Yeah, Rory's obviously up there.
Rory as well. Sorry, yeah.
Very good. But like when you talk about then starting Methody and like, getting into rugby and stuff, to then have played that amount of times, being top 10, potentially top 5 of Ulster's all-time appearance makers. Like, that must make you proud.
It makes me so proud. It's crazy. It's crazy sitting here now that I'm 2.5 years out of it. Like, it feels like a lifetime ago, but
Yeah.
also feels like it went like that, And the journey that I sort of took was definitely a road less travelled. Having like played a lot of Gaelic when I was younger, and football and rugby, and like, I loved athletics. And as we were saying at the start, I love sport, but I was never the guy that it was like, he's a shoo-in to to play for Ulster, to play for Ireland, and it all just happened like quite quickly. And you're saying about being proud. Yeah, I'm immensely proud, and my family are proud, and it's great, and I wouldn't change the career for the world. But in the world of professional sport, you're fully immersed. It's all consuming.
Yeah.
You don't have loads of time to pat yourself on the back. Do you know?
Yeah, I was as I asked the question, I was thinking that, because people would say that to me about, say, business achievements, totally different realms, but business things, and the people I've spoke to that have sat in that chair, and it's the same sort of answer. It's like, everybody's so busy and focused that it can be hard to be like, oh yeah, I'm proud. You kind of need to take a minute and take a step back and look and be like, well, actually, that's pretty damn good. Which is difficult. We're not sort of built to pat ourselves in the back at times.
Absolutely, and that's what I was just going to say. And I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I suppose it's a little bit of both. But as humans, we always want more.
Yeah.
Like, for me, being an 18-year-old at Methody, and someone saying to me, "You're going to be playing for Ulster in a year. You're going to be capped by Ireland in 2 years," or was 21, so 3 years.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No way. Like, I would have given them my left arm, and then you get capped for Ulster, and then you get, you start building up a couple of caps, and you're playing well, and you're maybe a bit of a regular team. Like, right, I want to play for Ireland. I've got my sights set on Ireland, and then maybe you sort of break into the Ireland team, and it's a Lions year, and you're like, oh, if I have a good Six Nations, I could maybe get on a Lions tour. So like, it goes, things happen so quickly. No, I didn't play for Ireland as much as half as much I would have liked to. It's maybe a story for another day, and I didn't go on a Lions tour at all. But that's just sort of the thought process.
Absolutely.
It's not I got an Ulster cap. I'm so happy, which I was. I'm just gonna take this home and show my mum now, and look at other areas of work. It's just it's a constant. Okay, what's next? How can I be better?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love that mindset, though. I think it's okay to have high expectation, but it's being able to appreciate moments.
Definitely.
But I totally get when you're in the midst of it. I remember being at them, just looking back, I was definitely at the Principality or Millennium Stadium at the time. You were playing Six Nations, I'm pretty sure, whatever year that would have been.
2013.
Was definitely at a game then, and just looking up yesterday, your Ulster debut, two tries in your debut.
That's right. That was against Cardiff in the Liberty Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ulster had done a nice it was a nice video montage of your career, and it was like, me, like, it's class, mate. Really, really good. So congrats. Maybe a bit emotional watching it. I can't imagine then that being you watching that. And obviously at the end, you and your daughter on the pitch, I think that must have been a lovely moment to be able to share that.
Yeah, that was a lovely montage they put together, and it bring a tear to my eye as well. Get
the tissues out here.
Yeah, the 2013 playing in that Six Nations game against Wales, we won. It was so surreal for me. Like, I just, nothing could prepare me for that. You're playing in a team with like Ronan O'Gara and Brian O'Driscoll, who I watched as like an 11-year-old. Like, it was just bizarre, and I don't. Maybe I went in too quickly. I'm not sure. It's hard to know, but I remember thinking this is surreal. And being a dad now, I know you've two girls. I have a daughter as well, and although she won't really remember, close to a year, I suppose. I retired before she turned 1, but she came to all the home games with my partner, and she'll not remember it, but just me having her there.
But you will.
Yeah, I'll remember it. And those pictures, those memories, and I'll tell her when she's older. You saw Daddy play, and Melissa, my partner, she handed me my daughter Madison, and my last game was against Connacht. We lost. Oh, it was
Oh,
terrible. But yeah, she handed me her, and yeah, I just had a wee moment with her on the pitch. It was just me and her, and the floodgates just opened, and I did a wee lap with her, and it was lovely. It was so special, you know. And one of the things I suppose you want to have is, although she won't remember, is those memories with your kids, you know.
absolutely. And like there, although that was towards the end of your career, it's like you're building and you're doing all this stuff effectively for them, and you want to make them proud. So,
Yeah,
no, it'd be class to be able to reflect on that in the future when
yeah,
she's a bit more aware. So let's look at the transition then out
yeah.
of elite sport. Was that? Because I remember being a bit shocked when I heard you were calling it a day. Was it your decision? Was it kind of like a forced hand, or how did it come about?
No, it was a forced hand. It was Ulster's decision. It was the sort of the way things were since, like, Ulster used to be quite, I suppose, cash rich, or money in the bank, and players were paid well, and there never seemed to be any issue with finances. Since COVID and under new management, things took a wee bit of a turn, and there was guys being let go. There was contracts being reduced. Even if you're kept on, your contract's gonna come down. We all knew it. It was there was no secret about it. There was letters from the CEO of the IRFU. There was chat amongst Ulster, like, the finances aren't great.
Would that have been similar? Sorry, for the other provinces, or say, I suppose that's hard for you to know that information.
I think it would have. Not Leinster.
Yeah,
Like, when they're getting whatever it is, €1 million a home game at the Viva, I think they're doing okay.
Yeah.
I think it would have been similar for Munster and Connacht.
Yeah.
Certainly Munster, could be wrong on that. Connacht, I know, have just, developed and built a brand new stadium, which looks amazing. But I was 32. There was lots of back three guys. There was Jacob Stockdale, Ethan McElroy, Rob Balakoon. There was lots of guys in my position, and I sort of saw the writing on the wall. I'm probably be the one that's going to go here.
Yeah.
Now, at the time, like, I really disliked the culture, the management, and to be honest, I could not wait to get to leave, really. But I didn't want to stop playing.
Yeah.
Declan, I was 32. I still felt good. Still felt like I was in good shape. It slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
Had been quite lucky injury wise. All my injuries are in my face, unfortunately.
Oh, really? The moneymaker.
I've 3 metal plates in my eye socket. I've done both eye sockets, my nose, cheekbone.
Do you
Numerous
want to go
concussions.
through airport security with you then?
Doesn't set it off. Yeah,
Okay.
I asked the surgeon that as well. But no real, like, lower limb, ACL.
Hamstrings or anything?
The odd tear.
Yeah.
No
major.
lower limb surgeries. So hadn't slowed down too much, but I sort of knew it was coming, and I spoke to the head coach, and I said to him, all I wanted was, I just want to play. I don't care if it's one more game. I just want to be there with my daughter to see it and take her on the pitch. And that happened, and that's great. But in terms of the environment, it was just not a good culture. It was not a good culture. I don't think that's any secret either.
And that has changed now. Sorry,
that has since changed.
Yeah.
That has since changed. I was in last week speaking to the guys just about this sort of transition, and the place is buzzing. Richie Murphy's the head coach. He has been for 2 seasons now. I'm a big fan of his. Just a normal guy, just a good guy. Your head coach doesn't need to be a flippin' rugby mastermind.
Yeah.
He just needs to be. He needs to have people skills. He needs to manage the players.
Yeah.
And get the best out of the players.
Yeah.
Probably not too dissimilar to a CEO or an MD.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of crap to pick up when he started.
Yeah.
And it wasn't going to change overnight. But they stuck with him, and I'm so glad they did, because it's looking really, really well now. And they've got Mark Sexton, Johnny Sexton's brother, taking the backs. The attack's flying, and Willie Falloon, who used to play for Ulster, as the D coach, and defensively they're flying as well. So When I was in last week, I was almost walking in like this, and I saw my tile on the wall, the changing rooms where I changed for, nearly 10 years, because obviously the new stadium, and it was like the place was around, like when I first started to probably 2016, it was amazing. It was the best job in the world, and had I had to leave then,
Yeah.
like
Devastated.
So it was great to go in and see them all, and the place is buzzing, and they're going really well. And I love watching now.
Yeah.
I love watching the game, knowing that it has no bearing. Now, if I'm doing any like commentary or punditry, you need to watch all the games. You need to keep up to speed. But
Yeah.
say I don't have a gig for a wee while, I love parking myself in the house, maybe a couple of Corona, watching the Ulster match, and it has no bearing on me. I don't need to worry if I'm going to be sitting in that Monday morning meeting if things go wrong, or if selfishly, if guys in my position play really well and they're going to get picked ahead of me the following week. So no bearing on me. Love watching it. Brilliant. And going back to your question, sorry, I wanted to keep playing, so I wanted to go to America.
Okay.
I wanted to go to the MLR. Now they're not massive contracts. It's not very very lucrative, but I thought the lifestyle would have been great.
Yeah.
I love America. The short seasons. Of 3 clubs, I was chatting a little bit to Toronto. There's a guy from Leinster who is was one of the assistant coaches there, and there was a guy that used to play at Ulster who was heavily involved in New York. So I went over to New York the summer before just to sort of meet him and see the place, did a bit of training with him. And I was chatting with my agent constantly. And the third was Miami.
Ooh.
And of course, everyone wants to go to Miami.
Yeah. And you and Lionel Messi sharing a gaff.
I think our accommodation might have been slightly different. And I never got an offer from Miami. I think the message that the coach sent to my agent was literally just like copy and pasted from a message he'd sent like 3 months ago. Me just like, this is what he sent.
It's making me feel wanted.
That's the same message. So yeah, nothing from Miami. And then I was talking about the effect from COVID and the sort of rugby market. Financially, New York and Toronto then closed their doors, went bust. Like lots of teams, not just in the States, but in the Premiership. I think Jersey as well. Some teams in Australia. You started, London Irish, Worcester. Started to see some clubs closing the door, and then that never materialised. So it was 2 were gone, and it was Miami. I never got an offer from them. So I was like, right, do I want to keep pushing this? Do I really want to keep playing? My daughter's turning 1. I would be going on my own. My partner's a doctor. She's in a quite an intense training program.
Yeah,
I'd be going on my own, and I mean, you know what it's like from born to probably 1. I felt a little bit useless. You know what I mean? I absolutely love being a dad. I've wanted to be a dad for as long as I can remember. Yeah. But it's not really till they're around, approaching 1 and beyond, that sort of wee relationship, and those smiles and giggles start to come out. And that was around the time I was thinking, right, I need to find a club here. And then I would think on a daily basis like about that journey to the airport with all my stuff to leave, and it would make me emotional at times. And then I just sort of thought, you know what, I think I've been told, there's signs here. Yeah. Maybe to call it out, you've got your health. Yeah. I've had a great career. I played for Ulster, played for Ireland. I exceeded all of my own expectations.
Yeah. What else is there?
Yeah. Just be happy. Don't be. Sometimes as humans, we're all doom and gloom. I want to keep playing. What about the gratitude and being thankful to have had that as a career for 13, 14 years? It's literally a boyhood dream. So then I just made the decision. Right, that's it. I'm gonna take a few months off and then decide what I want to do next.
Amazing. No, I really like that attitude, man. It's not often you hear that. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think very often it's we'll look at the negative side of things, like, I've been let go. I actually wanted to keep playing. Like, this isn't good. They're not giving me an offer, whatever. But actually, play a really physical game here. I've had a really good run. I'm still fairly intact.
Yeah.
I have a lot of opportunity. I have a lovely young family.
Yeah.
And what else is out there for me?
Yeah.
As opposed to gripping on to
I know.
something negative.
I know, but it goes back to what we were saying at the start. You always want more, and
Yeah.
professional sport, you're just so consumed by it all, and it's so
Yeah.
fast paced. It wasn't really until I'd retired that you get a chance, you get a few months to yourself, and you can reflect on that.
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong. There's some days, or there's some maybe home games I'm watching Ulster playing, and it's a dry night, and you know there's a great performance, and I'm like, oh,
Love to be out there.
I'd love to be out there. You know, that creeps in from time to time, but on the grand scheme of things, yeah, like I have to keep telling myself. I'm saying this to you as much as I say it to myself. You know, you should be so grateful for the last 15 years.
Are you ever wondering where to bring the family for a nice Sunday roast? Well, think no more. Never worry. The Fox's Den, Newton Arts, plenty of parking, plenty of space inside, nice big booths, and a fantastic menu. Roast changes every week, but always fantastic homemade Yorkshire puddings, homemade gravy, and the best produce from the local area. Find us off the Jubilee Road every Monday to Sunday, 9 to 5. The routine, obviously, of an elite sports professional, it's pretty much, correct me if I'm wrong, like laid out for you. Like this is your week, and this is what you do. That transition, was that difficult for you, or did you find that okay in terms of being able to focus on a sort of normal day-to-day life and what a week looks like now?
So I would say for the first 2-3 months, I was loving life. I was
Freedom.
I was cutting my grass like twice a week, and
Such a dad,
I
Craig.
was getting into it so much. I was scarifying it and aerating it and
I remember seeing your
fertilizing
socials.
it.
Yeah.
I was playing tennis. I was golfing. I was eating whatever I wanted, and it was so nice. And then the guys started back to pre-season, and it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. And then the sort of, I suppose, the school year, September came round, and I was sort of thinking, right, by then, what am I going to be doing? At this point, I was still, am I going to keep playing, or what am I going to do next? And there was quite a lot of weeks where I was, I had no schedule. Where is the schedule? Like what am I doing this week? If I'm meeting someone, am I meeting someone for a coffee just for a chit chat, catching up with friends, or am I meeting someone who's potentially has an opportunity for a new career move? And I think I struggled with that. So for the first, probably after that initial couple of months off, then like that 6 months, I think I struggled, and just trying to adjust.
Yeah.
And I don't say struggle in a sense that I had a roof over my head and I had food on the table, and my daughter was healthy and happy.
Yeah.
And my young family was we were all good. And it again, going back to, you need to tell yourself that these aren't massive problems.
Yeah.
But if I'm being honest, it was like there was times where I was maybe lost myself a little bit. What do I do now? Who am I now?
That's only understandable, because all of a sudden that sense of purpose you had for 10-15 years is removed. So it's about finding a new direction. I'd asked Stuart, obviously he's still playing at the minute, and we spoke a bit about this earlier, about ex-players and different business ventures and things. From the outside, I always felt Ulster seemed to create a good environment for players to transition out of rugby. You've actually went through that process. Would you agree that they set players up well for the future, or did you feel, or do certain players feel a bit abandoned? Like, what do I do now? How do I go about life?
I think when I first started, when I was 18, 19, and guys were leaving, I know they felt like it was just a sort of see you later. The doors closed, the passcodes changed. Someone else has got your locker, and it could be very cold.
Cold, yeah.
Now that has completely changed. There is a I suppose, an organisation called Rugby Players Ireland that look after. You could guess, the rugby players in Ireland.
That's what it says in the tin.
Yeah. The 4 provinces, and I only have the best things to say about them. It was because of a lady called Pam Gilpin, who was the Ulster's. I think PDM, player development manager. Each province has their own, and Pam was ours for probably the guts of 10 years, and she helped me with lots of things, whether it was just like queries or getting in touch with someone. I wanted to do a degree. I didn't know where to start, and she said, "Well, you're 23 now. You're a mature student. You can effectively start any degree that outside of medicine." And that really led me to the Open University, where I started a law degree, and it took me nearly 6 years, but I stuck at it and I completed it. And
Class.
that was all thanks to Pam. Pam's away now, and Paul Marshall is now doing that role.
Yes, okay.
And Paul is great, great guy, real personable, had a super career, has been there, done it, and he's there. Ex-Methody guy, yeah, and he's Mr. Methody, and he's now doing that role. So the tools are there, in abundance for guys. And that's what I was saying to them last week. Go and speak to Paul, grab him coffee, 20 minutes or an hour, just sit down with him, no matter how small it is, whether you have an interest in starting a podcast or opening a coffee shop, or you want to maybe do 1 day a week in a wealth management
Just send them
company.
my way.
Yeah. Yeah. So to answer your question, very good, and will help you with that transition.
Yeah, no, that's it's nice to hear, because it could be, as you say, being left out in the cold, and it's that change of purpose. And when people have had that focus, I suppose from a business point of view as well, it makes me think about running a business, and if a staff member leaves, like, there is a certain responsibility to ensure, they're okay, and things depend on the circumstance. We've had quite a few people leave recently to go to Australia,
right?
Young staff members, and it's very much like, and do you know what? It's such a mixed emotion, because they'll come to us and they'll be like, so upset, almost emotional, but like, look, I want to do this, but like, I love it here, and it's great. And you're like, you're 21.
Yeah.
Like, I love that you respect us enough to feel like that.
Spread your
go,
wings.
Go and live your life. Like, Dean and I are like, we're 36, 37, mortgages, kids, we aren't doing that.
Yeah.
So go and enjoy it, and experience it as much as possible.
Yeah. That's nice. That says a lot about you guys, instead
so.
of just firing their notice at you, giving you the fingers.
Yeah, and look, I think as well, because the industry we work in, there's a lot of, we're aware, like in hospitality, a lot of guys are there, they're doing degrees, this isn't their forever job.
Mm-hmm.
Totally get that.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be my forever job. Technically, I suppose it wasn't, but when they come to us and they say, Dec, I have this opportunity to fulfill my career potential, or actually I did a law degree and I have this opportunity now, I'm going to have to leave. Brilliant. How can I help you?
Yeah.
Like, what can we do? And see if they wanted to go and set up a restaurant, a bar, a coffee shop, or whatever, like, I would do as much as I can to help them.
Well, that's brilliant.
And I think that's actually there was very few people I felt when we started out that would have been helpful.
Yes.
In the nicest way to put it. And I think that's sort of changed now. I think there's a lot more to be done through collaboration.
Yes.
Than there is through being a lot of people see Northern Ireland as very small, and that is true. But at the same time, it's nice to be nice, as my mum would say. It
is absolutely nice to be nice, and that says a lot about you guys, and treating people like that, I think will come around again in a positive way.
Hopefully. Fatherhood, how did it change you overall?
So
you obviously said it was something you'd wanted for a while, and you were always keen to be a dad. So
aside from having glitter on my face every other day, going into work,
the toenails painted, all sorts going on. Like, it's
I think I said this to the guys, and under no circumstances am I telling the 20-year-olds, 18-year-olds to go out and have kids, But just from my perspective, that we were talking about that transition, how it can be tough, and mentally it can affect you a little bit. Made so much easier being a dad, because, and I'm sure you can relate to this, it's not all about you anymore. And I suppose the way I look at it is, if I'm worrying about something, or maybe I have a little bit of anxiety around something, I always feel now that I'm a dad, if she's okay, nothing, all that stupid shit doesn't matter. Yeah. As long as she's okay. And also from a point of, well, I need to support her, I need to provide for her. So what's next after rugby? What job am I going to go into? I'm going to go in at the bottom of the ladder. Right? You need to leave your ego at the door. This is for for your family. This is for her, and like it helped me so much with that transition.
Yeah.
Just having her and knowing her, that she was there and she was safe, and she's my priority
Yeah.
now. Going forward, no real time to sit and be all doom and gloom.
You're spot on. It's that like why the anchor, the focal
Yeah,
point.
your
Like, I
why.
just think it really changes. It's hard to describe, like,
Yeah.
unless you've been in that position, I think.
Yeah, you just have to experience it yourself.
Yeah.
You really do. It's
Much like traveling on a plane with your kids.
yeah. Oh, flip me, like, let's we don't need a like, it's not all rose tinted glasses, I suppose. Like, fatherhood can be tough as well. As I said, that first year,
Absolutely. I think that what you mentioned earlier is very honest. I think a lot of dads feel that because when you think about it, like, the mum has had this bond with the baby for 9 months, and a dad, it can be like this bit of a disconnect. And where do I fit in? And it can be until maybe you're starting to get a bit back. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm just a side piece here. Like, how do I fit into all this? And then naturally that grows, and it's you get your own wee things with the kids, and maybe especially as well a dad and a daughter. But there is that natural, like, there is a lovely bond. Like, my eldest Amelia is just stuck to me. Like, she is
So
daddy's
lovely.
girl through and through. Which is lovely, which is great. Would you, obviously, like, women's sport is growing and growing.
Yeah.
Would you have any interest in seeing Madison play rugby?
If she wanted to play rugby, absolutely. She started tennis 3 weeks ago.
Brilliant.
So she's done 3 tennis classes now on a Saturday morning at David Lloyd's. She is only 3, so
You're not too hard on her then.
when I say tennis class, they go and they she has a wee tennis racket. God love her. I've her dressed head to toe in Under Armour gear.
Class.
And there's wee drills that they do, and they have a bit of fun, and it's not like they're having these 20-shot rallies at 3 years old. That's just ridiculous. But even going there, and even like the discipline of picking up the tennis balls at the end of the lesson, and putting them back in the basket. They all get a wee sticker at the end. I love that. Saturday mornings for me now, probably for the rest of my life. Whereas I had that excitement for myself, or a Friday night. For me to play sport, I now. It sounds a bit strange, maybe it's not, but I know it's Friday evening, and I'm like, oh, Madison's got tennis tomorrow. I'm really excited to take her, and just I try and watch from the cafe. She can't see me, but I can see her, because you don't want to be that sort of. I don't want to be that sort of get out for her. If maybe she trips and falls on the ladders, I want her to experience, because it's a big bad world out there, I want her to sort of navigate herself to some degree, without mummy or daddy always being there to save her, because what's that going to teach her? But I love taking her to that. And to answer your question, if she wanted to play rugby, if she wanted to play any sport, and she saw if she had an interest in it and she was really enjoying it, I would support her, to the end of my days.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I want to ask you a wee question, actually.
Yes.
They say you shouldn't force things on your kids, and sport being a big one. And I have seen kids, particularly rugby, a 6-year-old stand there with his scrum hat on and his gum shield on, covered in mud, and the dad's like, he's going to play for Ulster in 10, 15 years, but I can tell the kid's just not enjoying it.
Yeah.
But then recently I saw, once they get to a stage, I don't know, maybe early teens, they start to get a wee bit of, I don't know if boredom's the right word, but become uninterested a little bit. And now I'm sort of thinking, whereas, don't push them. I read an article recently that said that is the time where you need to
try and get that focus.
You need to support them to get them back into that. What would your thoughts be on that? Obviously, you want to try and get the balance right.
Yeah, 100%. I actually think it's really interesting what you said about trying to take a step back and letting her experience that herself, because it can be so difficult. I think as a parent, you want to protect and make sure they're okay, but sometimes that can be to their detriment.
Totally.
I totally agree. Whether it was, my girls go to their dancing, my eldest is a bit more into it than the youngest, and like when I go with the youngest, I'm like, why am I here? Like, would she actually prefer rugby tots? But the point being, whatever they were into, if they had a passion for it or enjoyed it, that's what I would want to support. I wouldn't particularly push them down an avenue. I do think that having a hobby, particularly in a sporting health capacity, is very positive. So
Yeah.
I think with myself and Jenny being on a bit of a health and fitness trend the past 2 years and trying to get ourselves back on track, it's lovely to witness my girls now know that, oh, daddy, you going for a run, or daddy's going to the gym, or
Yeah.
mummy's at the gym. I think it's really important to like instill
Totally.
that.
Totally.
And I just look back and I'm like, fuck, I was so lazy. Like before, like should have really done this. I actually wanted to ask you in terms of health and fitness now.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still? It's obviously still a big thing for you. How do you factor that into your weeks?
This is going to sound silly, but it's probably it's more of a factor for me now
Suppose.
that I'm retired, because yes, I was obviously so active playing professional sport, but it was my job.
Yeah.
You know, whereas now it's my therapy. You know,
Yeah.
it's my release. I would gym. I try and gym 3 times a week. That's my, you know, sort of non-negotiable.
Yep.
Usually in the morning before work. I am still playing a wee bit of rugby, but just amateur. You know, it's still it's decent enough level, but it's nowhere near like, you know, what life was like before.
Where's that at?
In Stonians.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here they've some team, I believe.
Yeah, they're going well. Ian Witten as well. He played for Ulster and Exeter, a very successful rugby career. He's there, and Louis Ludick, who I played
That's
with Ulster.
right,
He's the backs coach. So it's a great wee environment. Yeah, the active lifestyle. Like as long as I can, you know, to the day I die, I will be doing something, because I not only do I enjoy it so much, and I'll always have that like competitive streak in me. The feeling that I get after is that sort of, whether it's dopamine or the, you know, the runner's high, as people call it, like there's nothing else. You know, there's no, I suppose, like therapist that could make me feel that good. Do you know? So that, you know, the sport and the active lifestyle, that's a big part of my life.
Yeah. Have you got into the High Rocks trend yet?
So Andrew Trimble messaged me a month ago, and he I was chatting to him. He had done the Dublin High Rocks with his sister, and he was in awe. He said it was unbelievable, absolutely loved it, and we're trying to plan one together. Although he did he dislocated his ankle in Dubai. Once you retire, right, there's all these sort of like cool events you can go to and play in as well. They're kind of exhibition games, but you never lose that competitive streak.
Bit of fun, ex-players, yeah.
Bit of fun can sometimes turn a little bit heated, but overall,
go hurt a few people.
yeah, overall it's great fun. And you know, I've done Bermuda twice, which was amazing. I did Australia in the summer. There's a Ireland-England Legends game.
I love how you're telling me you're not just going to like Liverpool or Manchester or something. It's like, I just Bermuda.
Yeah,
you were in was it South Africa or Australia?
Australia, yeah, did Australia. You know, and
I like your style.
Yeah, like it's cool to still be involved in these things, but not have to do it as a career day in, day out.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like a professional rugby player again for a couple of weeks, but I'm happy now to go back to my, you know, day-to-day life. And so yeah, there's Dubai, Bermuda, Australia. There's an Ireland England Legends game every year. So it'll be in the Stoop in Twickenham in 3 weeks, end of February, and it's for...
You playing?
I'm playing.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's for Wooden Spoon charity usually, which is for rugby players who have finished the game with maybe life-altering injuries. This time around, it's for Lewis Moody's charity, he's recently diagnosed with MND. Right. So, you know, that'll be great fun. Trimby did the one in Dubai, and he wrecked his ankle. So our High Rocks sort of partnership is going to have to be put on hold for it. So I do need a partner.
I have a chance to tag in. That's what I was going to try and do, and Trimby beat me to it. No, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I've done, Jenny and I are doing London Olympia at the end of March, but
are you?
I'd like to do, I think, try out a men's doubles, and then the goal at the end of the year is to do a solo at some stage. Okay,
so you're doing the
mixed doubles, and then Belfast Marathon as well, 4th of May, 3rd of May, doing that. So how do you
the High Rocks, talk to me about getting in? Is there a ballot? Do
London
you have to get early?
So we went to Madrid in November, and it was like I think the ones in the UK are more competitive.
Okay.
Certainly getting tickets for Dublin and stuff was mental.
Yes.
But we were okay for Madrid last year, went in November, and we were sat on the plane going home. And we were a bit like, or more so I was a little bit disenchanted with our time. I was like, I felt we could have done better. You know,
Yeah.
just that, like, always wanting more. And I'm
Yes.
like, come on, like, this it's a lovely trip away with your wife. You're enjoying this health and fitness, and
Yeah.
it was great. And I was like, oh, I just wish we'd got like this time. So we're sat in the plane, and Jenny was like, there's tickets available for London in March. Should we do it? And I had said, no, I'm doing this marathon block. I just want to focus on that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fuck it. Yeah, like, go
Let's
for
do it.
I want to do it. So it was okay to get tickets for that. But I think now, whereas before it was like 2 or 3 days, it's now like,
Yeah.
oh, it's on for a week. So
Okay.
they've like opened it up. So
There's more spaces.
we're going on like a Tuesday afternoon
Brilliant.
to do it, sort of thing. So
So you have Madrid, did you say?
Madrid,
So
yeah.
you have your time from Madrid. So
Yeah.
that's the bar effectively.
That's what everybody told us. So we've done a couple of sims, but the sims
Yeah.
aren't it's not a fair comparison.
Okay. And does
yeah.
everyone bring their own photographer, or you know, the photos that I see,
Mate,
like they
it's
look
a- it's
amazing,
this-
but I'm like,
it's this
where are all
it's-
these pictures
It's
come
this
from?
amazing setup. It's much like a marathon where they just have like professional photographers running
Really?
around, and then at the end you can it's all facial recognition.
No way.
So if you want the photos, you know, it's obviously a decent price to pay for them. But
Yeah.
like anybody like myself that's like, oh well, am I going to do this again? I don't know. I'll of course pay 40 quid to have all these photographs.
I look absolutely great in that picture. Give me two of those.
All right, but then then those ones not so much. They're not going anywhere. But no, mate, if it's ever of interest, I'd definitely give it a rattle.
Definitely,
with you. So we will
definitely.
see. Right, we're going to hit some quick fire questions.
Okay.
So let's see what you think. Paddle or tennis?
Oh flip.
Haven't played paddle.
At the minute, it's. I mean, I love my tennis. I do love my tennis, but it's at the minute it's got to be paddle.
Paddle. You need to give it a wee go. Although I think that quick turn on could be an injury right and quick.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's easy enough to play. A wee bit like table tennis.
What's the scoring system? Is it
It's
like
the same as tennis?
Tennis, okay,
Yeah,
right.
It's the exact same as tennis. You know, start serve on the right.
Okay.
The,
And do you play like doubles in that, or
yes, there are single courts. I have not played singles yet, but I've just played doubles.
Okay, very good. I'll have to get involved some stage.
100%.
Right now, this is a bit controversial. Ireland Grand Slam or Ulster to win a trophy this season?
I'd probably say Ulster to win a trophy.
Yeah, I feel like
Just been a long time.
yeah.
I think 20 years, maybe. No, 2006. Correct me if I'm wrong, 2006 or 7.
Yeah.
You check that is the last time they won, I think, the Celtic League.
Yeah.
So they, you know,
be big, wouldn't it?
Will be big. You know, they've been through. It's been a roller coaster at times. And yeah, I feel like without sounding cliche, you know, it'd be nice for the fans. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot
I
of
was thinking that
diehard
just
fans.
for the province and
Yeah.
like everything. The support's always fantastic. So
Yeah, it
so
is.
yeah, that'll be a good one. Okay, I have toughest opponent. If you want to go individual opponent and maybe a collective team as well over your career.
Yeah. Toughest opponent. There was a guy called Issa Nathewa who played for Leinster, and I always thought he was tough guy.
Yeah.
Not the biggest, but he hit hard.
And would he have been like your opposing wing, or
He was adaptable on the centre, 15 wing. There was a couple
Yeah.
of times I played against him. We were opposite each other, and I always found him a bit of a handful. Great player, and you know, hard as nails. I played against Ugo Monye in 2010. It was my first game in a senior Ulster jersey. It was a pre-season friendly. It was over against Harlequins, and he was on the other wing. I was, you know, I think I hadn't even turned 19 yet, and I couldn't believe he was standing opposite me. I just watched him on a Lions tour, which was an amazing experience. But yeah, like next level, like such an athlete. I mean, he was going up for high balls. The height he was getting, you know, so fast. But yeah, I played against some unbelievable players, like some of the best in the world. Toughest team, I think. Playing against some of those big French teams is always difficult. You know, I remember playing against Bordeaux at home and had this massive pack, and it was just so hard for us to go forward. And of course, kills me to say it, but you know, Leinster are always very difficult.
Waiting for that one. Favorite away ground to play at?
Favorite away ground, probably. I'm probably gonna say Thomond Park.
Yeah.
at Munster's ground.
You had a very good try there.
I had one of my favourite tries there. Like one of my favourite experiences there was that quarterfinal. I just feel like when the stadium's full, it creates a great atmosphere. I've always liked and gone on well, with the Munster guys. Simon Z was absolutely hilarious, and to this day I keep in touch, and albeit competitors for jerseys at times, we've always maintained quite a we're not super close, but we've always had I saw him down in Premier Sports studio a couple of months ago, and I hadn't seen him in years, and it was just like no time had passed. So yeah, I would say Thomond Park. I like the pitch as well.
Yeah.
And maybe a lot of people won't get it, but I don't just mean whether it's a grass or a 4G. Like there could be 5 different grass pitches, but they could be very different as well, and I just always like that surface.
Nice, very good. Your kids' TV guilty pleasure?
So for me to watch as well.
Yeah, like as if it's on, you're like, actually, I really don't mind that this is on.
Oh, where do I start? There's Moana 2, Tangled.
We're going to have a full list.
Honestly, like, have you watched Sing 2 yet?
Yes, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's good.
Not 3 of us, because Madison was loving it, but Melissa and I were in tears at the end. Clay Calloway comes out, Bono. It's amazing, parenthood, being a dad, sort of reliving those movies.
Yeah.
Again, I remember watching The Lion King with my mum in Bangor Cinema when I was like 5 and crying when all the fire was going on at the end, and then watching nowadays Lion King with Madison in the cinema. So I couldn't name you one. There's loads. She loves. I don't know about your girls, but she loves Bluey.
Oh, I was about to say they're just love Bluey at the minute, like just Bluey, everything with all the books and all as well. And I actually see the two of them as flipping Bluey and Bingo. Like it's,
yes.
And I think they see each other as that, so it's a good laugh. But actually, again, as a series, not bad to watch as a parent.
Yeah.
Some nice wee nods for the parents and a bit of a laugh that maybe kids don't pick up on. So it's enjoyable. Best post rugby match meal. What would you have went for?
So traditionally, and still now, after a home Ulster game, there would be 60 Domino's pizzas in the changing room.
Serious?
Yeah,
Nice.
which is great, because after a match,
Carb load.
you're just exhausted. You just need fuel. Anything, that's the time. If you're gonna eat shite, it's not the Domino's shite. Domino's is great.
Well.
But in terms of sort of health wise, that's the time to just get it into your system. So. It was always nice coming off the pitch, and there's a nice hot pizza waiting for you. But also the Italians do an amazing spread. Anytime you're Zebra or Treviso, they've got all the breads and the cheeses and the Parma hams, and that's nice as well.
Make sure you're on that squad.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I don't care if I'm not playing. I'll do water. Just let me come.
Water boy. Anything you want to talk about, mate? Anything that's happening? Obviously, you mentioned that match in a few weeks' time, or anything you want to promote or let people know about that's coming up?
Not really. I'm looking forward to that game. I'll catch up with a few boys that I used to play with. Chris Henry, and Paul Marshall, who we chatted about earlier, going over together. And life's good. The first, as we were saying earlier, the first wee stint can be tough. But if guys are watching this, you just gotta just stick at it, and you'll find that. Actually, once you sort of get over that, life is actually a lot less stressful.
Yeah, like that. Look, the closing question we always end with: if your daughter was to listen back to this one day, what would you want her to take away from this chapter of your life and who you are?
I should have watched to the end of Stu's to heard his answer.
Well, yeah, there was a long pause.
What was it again? Sorry.
So if your daughter was to listen back to this in years to come, what would you want her to take away from who her dad is in this season of his life?
You always want them to be proud of you, and no matter what you do, they love you unconditionally.
Yeah.
I suppose me mentioning those movies, I hope she remembers those. 'Cause, how do you know what age they when their first memory is? And I hope some of those lovely memories I have as hers so young, she can relate and reflect on and remember, I suppose. We can chat about it when she's older.
Definitely. That's lovely, mate. Look, Craig, I really appreciate your time, and congrats on your career. And look, I hope everything in the future is very successful, and appreciate you coming down.
Thanks, Declan. Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Cheers.